I'm Aaron at Pure Tuning, and today we'll be dyno testing this 2020 Toyota Supra. We'll be starting off with the stock baseline and then using Bootmod3 for a stage 1 and stage 2 tune. Let's get started. To dyno test the Mk5 A90 Supra, you first have to put it into dyno mode. It's pretty quick and simple. You have to press the start-stop button 3 times rapidly to get key on power. That will turn on the display. From there, you have to press and hold the ODOM button for about 10 seconds. That will bring up Diagnostic Mode. Okay, from here you scroll down by pressing the button to Chassis Dyno. Press and hold again for another 2 to 4 seconds. Now it will instruct you to turn off the DSC. You press and hold the DSC for about 4 seconds. Tell you that VSC is currently off. Press the ODOM button to confirm. It will give you a message that you are now in test mode. From here you can start the engine and proceed with your dyno testing. To keep our eye on the temperatures and also to ensure the consistency between the dyno runs, we'll be using the Bootmod dashboard. This screen allows us to view current parameters within the engine, and then also allows us to data log so we can look at the runs in the future and do comparisons between obviously different data logs. From this screen there's a wide variety of parameters. You can see we already have some preloaded here. The main ones we'll be paying attention to for the beginning of each run is the intake air temp. You can see it's currently sitting here at 60 degrees. This will go up as the vehicle begins to warm up and we start moving on the dyno, as well as the engine coolant temperature. You see it's currently at 211. It should stay pretty close to around this value, maybe as high as 220. It'll kind of fluctuate between that 210 and 220, and we'll make sure that we start the runs within the same window of temperature for both of these parameters. Within roughly 2 degrees we like to try to stay. That will ensure the runs are very consistent back to back to back, and then very accurate in between the different stages we'll be testing today. Baseline testing is done. Did 2 runs. They were very consistent. We stabilized both intake and coolant temps for both runs. As you can see, they're very similar. A couple little differences here in the mid-range, about 45, 4600, a couple horsepower, but very consistent overall. AFs, very lean for wide open throttle turbo car. This thing runs 14 to 7 at watt stoic the entire time. So let's put in stage 1 and see what we get. Stage 193 testing is complete, and we did 2 back-to-back runs, once again maintaining consistency as far as engine coolant temps, intake air temps at the beginning and the start of the run. Most of them started around 60 degrees, give or take, with coolant temps around the 217 range, plus or minus a couple degrees. By the end of the runs, the intake air temps were roughly around 90, 92, 93, pretty much in that ballpark. So very consistent between all the runs on both the baseline and stage 1 testing. You can see these are 2 back-to-back runs. The air-fuel ratio obviously richened up from the factory tuning. Stoics now running down in right around 12 AF. We're using a sniffer wideband just stuck in the tailpipe for testing, so it takes a little bit to catch up here in the low end. This area down here with the initial torque ramp up, we're getting just a slight bit of wheel spin here on the cold temperatures that we still have here in Ohio. So the torque, if you don't put power down to the rollers, it doesn't show the torque. So that's what that difference is here. And you can see a little spike where it eventually slips, grabs, and then tries to put it in. So pretty much everything from here on up is very consistent, very similar to the baseline runs, plus or minus a couple horsepower.
The factory downpipe is removed by unbolting the exhaust flange and mounting bracket and sliding it out the bottom of the car. We then turn our attention to the Wagner tuning downpipe. It is part of the Stage 2 setup and features a large mouth design to a 3.5 inch outlet and includes a 3.5 to 3 inch step down to mate up to the factory exhaust. It also shares the factory design utilizing a flex section and mounting bracket. Installation is the opposite of removal, and the final fitment is very good.
That is testing all complete. Let's go look at the monitor and take a look at some numbers. And we got all 3 dyno graphs here pulled up so we can compare the results. So run 1 is our stock baseline 93 octane. This is the bright red and bright blue. Run 2 is our stage 193. This is the medium red and medium blue. And then stage 2 with the Wagner downpipe is run 3 in the dark red and dark blue. The max, min, and average, we can see the max values. So the max value for stock was just under 303 horsepower and 327 foot-pounds of torque. Stage 1, just under 380 horsepower and 394 torque. And then stage 2 went to 393 and 391 foot-pounds of torque. Stage 2 made some significant increases over stage 1, mostly from 4,000 on up, where it really starts to separate. That airflow comes into effect. You can see 320 versus 330, 637. That's a wrap for this dyno session. Until next time.